Mm-hmm. Dubai for goodbye. Oh, damn. That is good. Where's the A? B, C, D, E, F. I don't know. Dubai International? Probably. Oh. Oh, shit. It's one of the starred places. Is it really? Grandstand? More airports? Dubai Mall. Oh. Okay. Now, the airliner is not really a sightseeing plane. Let's take off in the Dreamliner. Dubai International OMDB. Okay, so that is where we are. Yeah, this is Dubai. This is still, like, you know, the 787 is probably someone's private plane. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, yeah, I didn't check for the liveries. In the preview version I had, there were no alternate liveries for the plane. I don't know if this release version does. And if anything else, you know, people will create them. You know, I want to get my Air Canada version, just so I can use it as an excuse to poop all over Air Canada. Time to do some stunt flying. 787, definitely a sightseeing plane, right? Exactly. So yeah, we're not going to do it proper. I will do some proper airliner flights at some point because I actually really enjoy it. For X-Plane, I really like the Zibo, like completely freeware, amazing airliner, and really fantastic to play. So I had a lot of fun with playing that. We'll do a little bit more of this. I did have, in testing, I did have a crash interacting with the FMS here in the Dreamliner. Might have just, well, I in hindsight, I'm not sure it was a crash or it might have just been one of those stalls for like 5-10 seconds, but I assumed it was hung and I just Alt F4'd out. So that may have been all it was, but I definitely had that sort of stall. French Alps. Oh yeah, I mean, I've done some flying in the French Alps. You fly to African Renaissance Monument in Dakar. Ooh. Have you done Tenzing Hillary Airport? I've not. In Nepal, considered most dangerous airport in the world. What has Air Canada done to me? What hasn't it? All right. Well, here we is. You can see it's had this. Like, it's all glass. It's all glass, and it's touch screens as well. What's interesting when you mouse over here, it like actually shows you the hit point as you're doing things, which is a really nice way of doing this. Now we're gonna run this. I mean, we don't have a flight plan loaded or anything like that, but I mean, normally you'd be doing most of this pretty automated. I wonder if the toga is configured. I mean, there's a button. It's sort of a weird click spot because it's like right here. Because it's actually the so that's the takeoff go around button for the, because you can't actually run these engines at 100% or they just like explode and die. There's all these like temperature and weight things and whatever that you do to derate it and whatever. But it's that button. But for some reason the click point is here. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be there, right? I don't know. I'll have to configure a hotkey for it or something, I suppose. But we're just gonna release the parking brake and go. Toga, toga, toga. Which is automated actually, because yeah, this will set it to the proper configured thrust. We'd also at this point we'd set up the autopilot, you know, put up the auto throttle arm button and all those things. But we're not gonna do any of that shit, right? No. We're just gonna eyeball this. What could possibly go wrong? Oh. What I should do, though, is it would be nice to be in here because we can see the rotate, forward pressure. I was going to say, we already started to do it automatically. There we go. There's the proper rotate. 10 degrees-ish, maybe. There we go. Positive rate. Gear up. These buildings all look kind of samey. Although I suspect that's exactly the situation. Alright, let's bring the flaps up. Let's go back outside the plane. And let's play touristy. So we're going west. We want to turn south for some of those artsy made things. Oh, if it's on any kind of auto throttle... No, we're okay. We're at 100% throttle. So we're completely cooking the engines right now. And that's fine. So, this is... Is it here in Dubai where there's that cool, like, palm tree-looking resorty thing? Oh, is it there? Okay, I gotta... Nose down a little bit. Nose down. Oh! This thing steers like a geriatric cow. Come on! There we go. Alright. We got it. That's the world. Oh, is it? Oh, is it a world? I thought it was like a palm tree type thing. All sorts of cool artificial islands. Yeah, okay, now, yeah, speed is going like crazy now. Oh my god. Quick bank to the right. Quick bank to the left. Bit different than the little tiny planes we were flying here. Oh yeah. I forgot there's like multiple levels of flaps here. There you go. Let's bring them all the way up. Now we're gonna overspeed. Yeah, let me pull back on the power scooch. Wait. Oh, it's still on auto throttle mode. I can't change the power levels from here. It's still locked. That's okay though. Pull up a little. I'm hearing beeping. I'm sure we have like 13 alarms in the cockpit going off right now. This is not how these planes are meant to be flown at all. Oh, that's the one I'm thinking about, right over there. What is this one? I'm not as familiar with this one. Oh my god, the overspeed is going to happen. Unless I really, like, pitch up and control the speed a little bit. There's like a very sharp spire over there. Yeah, I don't know that much about Dubai. Look at the saw blade over here. Is this a beach? Like, is it set up this way to, like, control waves, maybe? This is the abandoned one. Wait, they abandoned this one? No, really? Wasn't working out? They just didn't know enough about, like, blocking waves, maybe? Because there's, like, an extra buffer on this. That's the tallest building in the world. Oh, yeah. 450 knots and continuing to climb. What are we being yelled about? I guess it assumes, maybe because we're in the airliner, that it's like, we're supposed to have more ATC interaction. Wait, they just like copied this multiple times? Boring! Oh! My engines are at 0, you guys. I think I may have burned through our engines completely here. That's okay. Time to glide majestically back to the landing strip. I mean, maybe? Again, what we'd normally do at this point is we'd be configuring a whole lot of stuff into our landing profile. But, you know, glide scopes, everything like that. Any kind of, like, auto landing. Yeah, I think our engines have just flamed out completely. Oh, that must be one of the other airports. If that's C, D, E, or F. Or maybe the fabled A. Yeah, no, the throttle... it might just be the auto throttle because of the speed thing. Like, can I override? Auto throttle... There you go. Turn off auto throttle? Oh, no, they're not dead. It just auto throttled down to 0. Okay. That's all. Probably because it was probably configured to not exceed like 225 knots or something like that because of altitude restrictions or some damn thing. And so it was like, okay, well, I just have to throttle back all the way. Nah, that's cool. Autopilot wants to kill you. Oh, yeah. And check out the wing flex. Look at that. Wing flex. Unwing flex. Guys, we're playing Flappy Bird. Now, for anyone who's scared of flying may not like the idea that this is actually how these wings work. They are designed to flex very dramatically like this. Honestly, that's horrifying. I know, right? Like, surely these wings are about to snap off. No. There's a great video of a wing stress test on the UbTubs. Because what it's done, so they design it like the wings have to be able to support, you know, the strongest possible forces they'll ever run into in flight, plus X%. And the wing test is, they test the flex thing, and they're counting as the degrees or whatever happen, or to the stress, right? And is it like 147 or something like that percent? Like 147% or whatever it is, more like beyond maximum ever expected stress loads. And they knew that it was like basically pop then, and that is what happens in the whole plane. It just gets that magic number, and then the wings just shatter and explode. But again, it's like so far beyond anything they'd ever experience. Oh, there's a bank limiter on this plane. Can I disable that? All right. I don't know if you can override it. First of all, let's see if we can pull up. Hang on. 500? We're going so fast. All right, let's level out for a second here. All right. Oh, we are obliterating this plane. This is so wrong. So there is the bank angle selector right over here. Shit. I don't know if I can override it. I like turn off the alarms. No, it's probably more has to do more with altitude and things. The planes try not to let you explode. Pull out some circuit breakers. There you go. I mean, this is more than 25 degrees bank angle. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Now, can we... Maximum pull up! Maximum pull up! Maximum effort! Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throttle down for a sec here. Lead off some of the speed. Throttling down, pulling up. I'm just going to bleed off a bunch of this. Oh yeah, airspeed, 200 knots. That's what's dialed into my, that's what's going on. The autopilot, 200 knots was dialed in. So when I was beyond that, they're like, well, I better throttle back down to 0 to bring us down to 200 knots. But that's why we didn't have any throttle before. Okay, so now we're definitely within operating limits. What we're going to do, since we're done sightseeing for the day, we're going to go here. We're going to go to failures and damage, and we're going to set everything to full on. And we're going to see what we can do to black screen this. Full throttle. Now, that by itself might cause the engine to overstress and end this. So let me actually pull back to like 95% here. I don't want to just lose from the engines being overstressed. That would be boring. You got to pitch down here because we're going to go into a stall. There we go. All right. What I want to do is see if the wing flex can cause us to have a failure. This is your captain speaking. We're gonna rip this plane apart. Turns on fasten seatbelt sign. I wonder, do we... Oh, wait, why can't I move to the right? There we go, thank you. Zoom back a little bit. Oops. There we go, passenger sign. Seatbelt. Oh! In-op. Oh, that's boring, because I actually quite like when you can do the cabin tones. The bing-bong, as you change those. Okay. Let's see if we black screen this. I'm going to try to avoid doing it by overspeeding. Wing flex to the max! Whoop! Because, and in a sense, it should not, because I don't think the plane can do maneuvers that will exceed the wing stress limitations. It's more like, I don't know, random shit through the middle of a hurricane is the only thing that can maybe rip the wings apart. Okay. Now, we don't have a lot of room between us and the ground. We only have 20,000 feet. Let's see about overspeed now. Yeah, no bing bong button. Exactly. It's one of my favorite things in the Zebo and stuff. You can do signaling like that. And the crew in the back will respond to you little bing bong things. Like, you know that there's like a no smoking sign, but in most planes that's not a thing anymore. But you can still use that button. There we go. Overstress the aircraft and cause critical damage. I am shocked to hear that somehow we overstressed the plane. I can't believe that we somehow got out of the safe envelope of behaviors on this airplane. And yes, there is no crash screen. Even so, if we had collision damage turned on, and you like smash into the ground or something like that, the screen just goes black. It doesn't do big explodey things and things like that. A, it's not actually an important part of the gameplay, and B, I'm sure there's certain sensitivities that they're trying to work around for certain imagery with, you know, airplanes and crashing and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any game that has true like boom crash airplane bits going all over in terms of flight simming stuff. Not in terms of the commercial ones. Engineers failing us again. Yeah, but not KSP, right? I mean, combat sims, obviously, because combat, and KSP, but that's entirely different. But in terms of X-Plane, old school MSF, or MSFS, Prepared 3D, I don't know if any of those have, like, true crashes and explosions and things like that. I mean, this says crash physics in that if you hit something, like, it wasn't affecting us because we had it turned off. But if you hit something, even if you land too hard, it'll count as a crash and black screen you. But it won't actually disassemble your plane or make a big explosion. Mm-hmm. There were mods that added it, nothing official, yeah. Aerofly FS lets you rip the wings off, definitely remember that. Well, I remember in X-Plane a lot, when I would deploy my flaps when I was going too fast, it would actually, like, break off one of the flaps. Like, not necessarily visually, although it would be stuck in, like, extended. Even if I changed the flap settings, maybe one wing would still change, but the other one would be stuck on extended flaps, and the plane would be really hard to control. I had quite a few landing attempts where I deployed the flaps too early. One of the problems, though, is in these flight simulators, you tend to fly so many different planes, and all of them have different, you know, limits and speeds and things for their flaps and whatever. And so it's tricky because you didn't necessarily have all of those different numbers memorized for all the different planes, unless you were, you know, habitually doing the same one. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have a bing bong. Oh, okay. No problem. I have plenty of stuff to talk about. Still, while we kill a few more minutes to do the rating. Any other questions? Not in flight, because we won't have time to do another load here. Actually, I'm surprised. Oh, is it reloading? I thought I told it to go back to the main menu, but I may have told it to reload the flight. But any, like, menuing things you guys want to check out or anything? For flaps max speed, check the white panel next to the airspeed indicator. Not every plane has it in the same place. Kind of a little annoying. Every time you load up a new plane, you're like, all right, where the hell are the things? Sometimes they're up by the compass, for some of them, you know, up there. Sometimes they're in the door. And then with some of the airliners, it's on the speed tape that goes by. There's little indicators about things. You say rudder pedals are essential? No. It is nice to have some rudder control. Mostly you want some rudder control for for navigating on the ground. Although it's possible if you didn't have any rudder control, maybe there's the option for like regular sort of like when you're on the ground, maybe roll will get converted to yaw or something, in which case it would also be fine. I mean, for the sort of the most proper flying in terms of managing, you know, like the G-forces and things, the way they're supposed to be handled for a smooth ride for the passengers, then yeah, you know, coordinated turns and things with the rudder pedals is something you'll want. But honestly, no. And again, most of what I did, I was using this joystick here. Now, you do have rudder control by twisting this, but I don't think it's, for funsy stuff, I don't think it's required at all. There's the marketplace button. We can go... Seriously, I could just reload the game faster than this. I don't know what it's trying to do here. The marketplace currently is just where you would go to upgrade. If you bought the standard version and you decide to upgrade to the deluxe or premium, you do it through the marketplace button. But the idea is that is going to be the place where you're going to buy third-party planes as well, instead of having to go to 30 different websites to get the mods and then download them, install them right folder, and more annoyingly, keep the damn things updated. Ugh. So I'm looking forward to the integrated marketplace. Now, you're still going to be able to get things from third-party stuff. You're still going to be able to get, you know, people making freeware models and things like that. That's still going to exist the same way. But I'm happy about the idea of some sort of integration for it, because I'm hoping that's going to work better for certain things. Seriously, though, I mean, the bar's moving. I think it keeps teasing me here. I'm just gonna kill it. VNAV for autopilot bug has been fixed. So I don't know. I haven't done a lot of the big airliner stuff. Partially because I did have a couple of crashes when interacting with the flight management computer. In testing at some point, so I hadn't gotten around to it. And I was so into... The thing I'm most excited about for this new version of Flight Simulator is like the world, and so I've been doing like very sightseeing oriented flights, right? And you're not going to see anything at 35,000 feet in an airliner, and so I have not emphasized that in my gameplay and testing yet, but hopefully soon. Seriously, putting the hardware specs that high up in the list, weirdly. Okay. Would you recommend the premium deluxe or just standard? Well, I mean, you can upgrade from one to the other. Perfectly fine. So the difference between the premium and deluxe really is just so you get a few more planes and you get a few more handcrafted airports. So it's really I think the most important thing is you'd look at the list of airplanes in the deluxe or premium, and there's a specific airplane you're really into the idea of flying. It's like, you know, that is one that I want to really focus on a lot. Then go for that version. Or if maybe you have a home airport or a favorite airport, and the deluxe or premium version has like one of those airports, like, yeah, I'm going to be flying out of here a lot, then yeah. But again, the thing is, the base version has, you know, most of the planes. Some of the premium deluxe planes are sort of like different versions of the same thing. Like the base version has the Cessna 172 with the G1000 cockpit, but if you want the old school pneumatic cockpit, then that would come in a different version. So that's important to you. But most of the planes are already there, and the world, again, it's, you know, there's tens of thousands of airports out there. So unless you happen to be doing a lot of flights out of one particular airport, then it's not really going to matter how many kind of handcrafted airports are out there, right? But if you're going to fly, I don't know what an example of an airport that is handcrafted in premium and not in standard. Maybe the Dubai one or something. So it's like, if you really think you're going to do a lot of flights in and out of Dubai, well then yeah, go for it. But otherwise, I don't think it's a big deal. It is cheaper if you just buy the deluxe or the premium right away, as opposed to upgrading later, but you can always upgrade. I don't know. You're curious if Zebo will port a 737 to FS 2020. That is interesting. Now, the thing is, like, it's going to be completely different, right? Because X-Plane, like, you'd be able to carry over some of the models and textures pretty easy-ish. You know, maybe just run it through a converter. But the big problem will be the code that actually runs the simulator for the cockpit, that is going to be wildly different. And I don't think there's going to be an easy one-to-one port. But yeah, the Zibo 737 is an insanely good freeware airplane. Like, it's better than most payware planes. It's crazy. I've flown it a bunch in X-Plane. It is really, 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 really wonderful. And here's the thing. As much as, you know, Flight Simulator 2020 here is fantastic, if I had a specific craving to fly that really good 737, then I would just load up my X-Plane and do that. I'd have to spend some time configuring, you know, maybe my controls to equal out the two, but it would be fine. Especially since, again, when you're flying a big airliner, I don't think the world terrain matters as much, because mostly you're looking at your dash, your cockpit, to control things when you're doing a real flight, not whatever derpy ass shit we were just doing, right? You're actually just going to be looking at your panels the entire time. So what the world outside looks like matters a lot less, and you're going to be flying at like 35,000 feet. You're not going to be able to see anything anyway. Half the time you're going to be flying over an ocean, so it matters a lot less. Performance and other things like that do matter, but I've never had any complaints about anything like that in X-Plane, and yeah, the Zibo is just stupendously good. How's the flight gear you got? Is it as you expect, better or worse? It's really, really nice. It's the honeycomb yoke. The pedals are really good. The throttle quadrant. I mean, the levers are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But I mean, it's not for the throttle quadrant. Weirdly enough, it's not so much about the throttles themselves as the fact that there are, depending on how you want to look at it, 3 switches or 6 buttons, right? Because each of the switch has sort of an up and a down behavior. Those extra buttons are really useful, because that's what I'm using for my flaps, my gears, my brakes, and one of them is bound to a spoiler as well. Not that we've shown off any planes with spoilers, I suppose, really in most of our flying. And that I find really, really, really useful. One of the things I really do like, when you're doing the taxiing, which we didn't really do over here, the taxiing is so much better with, like, just the toe brakes. Individual toe brakes to help you taxi around is really handy. Is there a simple flight mode for newbies? So yeah, that's a great question. So there's this whole assistance menu over here with tons of different settings for things, right? That you can enable or disable. Oh, did I have that on? That's interesting. And right, we did turn this on just so that we wouldn't be annoyed with things. But you can have assisted landing takeoff. With the navigation aids, for example, you can have your landing path. It'll show you, like, you're basically flying through boxes in the sky to show you the path, and they'll illuminate as well to show you if you're going too fast or too slow, so that you have these sweet spots. You've got tons of things to help you with your flying. The user experience over here, notifications. You can have all these, like, pop-ups to remind you, like, of buttons you might want to hit. Like, for example, if your engine's just not on, you'd have a pop-up that say, hey, to start the engine, hit, and it's like Control E or something like that. So you can have all these tooltips that come up all the time for you. So there's lots of new pilot help. There's also flight training, learn to fly, bunch of different lessons, right? So yeah, I think it's going to be very newbie friendly. And yeah, right now the marketplace doesn't have anything other than upgrade to the the deluxe, the premium, and those things. Official content's just the same thing. It just brings you to the list over here. There's nothing there's really not much on the marketplace right now other than your upgrade options. But yeah, I don't know. So, if I check a Kiss for Lux channel right now, I suspect it's probably time for us to do a wee bit of a raid. What is she playing today? Oh, she's doing group stuff in ESO? Oh, I might want to join in on that. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Next live stream is actually going to be tomorrow, assuming I still have energy after today. We're going to start at noon Eastern time, and it's going to be more flying. I'm not sure what the flight will be. We might do more of these little sightseeing things, or it might be more of we're going to do a real flight, maybe a multi-step flight. But I think that's going to be it. Part of me is like, well, it would be cool to do a round the world flight. I think what we'll start is the idea of maybe we start like in Portugal. Hang on, I don't even know if I'm on camera here because I don't have my preview window up. We'll start in like Portugal, and then Spain, France, and just keep going east, and make little stops to refuel along the way. Savoy! Yeah, we could do an EU4 theme thing. One thing, I haven't seen Italy at all in this game yet. I have not flown around Italy. We start in the toe of the boot, work our way north. I don't know, something like that. I think I want to have I want to go in a direction and sort of zigzag our way along there while doing some sightseeing. So I'll give that some thinking. If you got suggestions, Twitter's probably the best way to fling it at me. So we're going to raid a Kiss for Luck. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for some more fleeing. Maybe we could do more of the Dreamliner and have another Flappy Bird plane. I don't know. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Let's raid a Kiss for Luck. Give her lots of love for me, okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.